Hello, 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 and thank you for tuning in to Dantian Energy Presents numero 33. It is an honor and pleasure to have you here this evening, in this moment, and in any moment. This is Dantian Energy Presents, and I am Dan, your coach or leader for this session. I don't know, we're all part of the same team. So, each Dantian Energy Presents consists of, well, it's going to be about 20 minutes long, anywhere between 20 and 30 minutes long, depending on the subject and meditation. We're going to have a brief introduction or warm-up, then a topic of discussion, then finally a meditation, and lastly, some parting wisdom. So let's go ahead and get started for our tune in and tune up, which is any form of expressive movement you may like. It could be dancing, shaking, tapping, anything that feels good to you, while we introduce today's topic, symbolism. May I allow symbolism? May I appreciate symbolism? And may I let go of symbolism? Lovely. And now this valuable reminder, the real meditation is how you live your life. Wise words by John Cabot. Symbolism. What is it? Well, one way to define symbolism is a mark or sign or word that indicates, signifies, or is understood to represent an idea, object, or relationship. So that's a very all-encompassing definition of symbolism. But the main idea is, a symbol, which is a mark, sign, or word that indicates or represents the meaning or of an idea or object or relationship. Another way to define or understand symbolism is expressing an invisible or intangible by means of visual or sensuous representation. So sometimes when we say symbolism, what we can mean is we are trying to represent or capture something that is invisible or intangible in a way that is then tangible or in some way able to be sensed. I think that's an interesting way to understand the meaning of symbolism. So why do we care about symbolism? Well, for one very, very important reason is for learning. Almost all of our learning in schools and perhaps even in our jobs is done through symbolic learning. So, in a lot of ways, symbols inform our lives. It can also help us gain insight about reality. When we start to investigate and become curious about symbols, we start to see how connected life is, and perhaps how life is constantly changing. And last but not least, symbols can help us with the expression. We're trying to express or articulate or communicate an idea or anything. It doesn't even necessarily have to be an idea. Then symbols are the way to do it. Often. Not always, but quite often. How do we learn more about symbols? Well, one great way is to study. Classic. Anyway. But furthermore is being open and observant of reality. Reality is already latent with symbols and symbolic meaning, so simply being open and present and receptive, we can start to gain knowledge regarding symbolism. And then finally, putting it into practice. The verbs of life and orientation and doing so with an intention, but also doing so non-judgmentally. I think that's an important element of practice. Symbols can be so beautiful, sometimes. Quote by Kurt Vonnegut, prolific author, tons of Cat's Cradle and a bunch of other books, but I like this, that symbols can be so beautiful, sometimes. That beautifully captures the continuum of symbolism. Lovely. So let's go ahead and begin our meditation. So find yourself into a comfortable meditative position, whatever that means for you. Your position or posture in meditation may be the object of your meditation. And we'll first begin warming up by tuning into our visual senses, seeing the world around us, whatever may be present in our visual fields. Good. And next, hearing the sounds of life, listening to the world around us. Good. Now tuning into our touch, feeling whatever we're feeling. Next, tuning into whatever we're smelling. Smelling as many smells as we can smell. And lastly, allowing and accepting the taste in our mouth in this very moment. Good. And we'll next begin turning inward, our inner sense. And as we do so, perhaps also feeling our sense of space, our proprioception. And as we continue to turn inward, now may be a good opportunity to gently close your eyes, or perhaps a gentle, fixed gaze. We'll first begin with the foundation of the breath. Breathing in our own way. Experiencing the experience of breath. The ever-present nature. In breath, out breath. Cycles of breath at our own pace. Maybe perhaps noticing wherever we feel the breath the most. And then continuing to expand our awareness throughout our breath. Feeling as much of our breath as we are able. Good. And now, let us first begin to introduce into our topic, discussion. Symbolism. Introducing symbolism, the conscious awareness for you. No right symbolism or wrong symbolism. Any and all symbolism. Continuing to maintain some awareness on the breath. We'll continue to expand our awareness from our breath to throughout our bodies. Perhaps beginning with the chest, expanding our awareness into our bellies, feeling soft, gentle belly breath. Feeling the depth of our belly. Perhaps feeling into our lower back, our points of contact. Feeling down into our hips and our pelvis, to our legs, to our knees, to our calves, ankles, feet. And flowing back up through our legs, to our lower back, up to our mid-back, upper back, chest. Feeling the flow through our arms, to our elbows, all the way out to our fingers. Back up through the arms, to our shoulders. Feeling our neck and our head, our face. Releasing any tension in the jaw and tongues. Feeling as much as we are able, from our head all the way down to our feet. Any sensations that are arising, turning towards those sensations now with an allowance, an acceptance, an appreciation for as is. Now we'll continue expanding our awareness from our physical feelings of our body to any feelings at all the complexity of human emotion and experiences, anything at all we may be feeling in this present moment, turning towards with an allowance, an acceptance, and an appreciation for any feelings that may be arising for us in this very moment. And now, let us reintroduce into our conscious awareness symbolism for you. Feel into symbolism. Feel symbolism to you, through you, about you. Feel all the feelings of symbolism in any way. And as we continue to feel whatever we feel now, let us notice how our feelings have changed from one moment to the next, and how that consciously influences our reality. Good. I will next begin by engaging mind. Observing mind and greeting mind as a good friend. Any characteristics of mind, any weight of mind, any movement of mind, scene of mind, moods of mind, anything at all you may be able to observe of mind. Good. And now, using mind, let us bring to mind, in the greatest detail imaginable, symbolism in any form. All the parts of symbolism, all the bits of symbolism, all the surroundings of symbolism, anything and all things imaginable of symbolism for you. And we may begin with this detailed symbol and expand to all the symbols in all of the universe. whatever that may appear for you. All of the symbols and all of the universe, infinite, interconnected, and complex, yet unified under its one true nature of being a symbol. Good. And just as we have brought symbols and symbolism to conscious awareness a few times, let us now let it fade to nothing. Symbolism to nothing. To nothing. And we'll begin to wrap up our practice with a loving kindness practice. First, begin by bringing to conscious awareness an object you connect with very easily, warming ourselves up as we prepare to offer love and loving kindness to that object. And loving kindness is any form of affection or anything that works best for you. Good. And now, bringing ourselves into conscious awareness and showering ourselves inside and out with love and kindness. Good. And now, bringing to conscious awareness someone who has helped you recently and offering them love and kindness. Good. And now, bringing to conscious awareness an individual or entity or situation in which you know is having difficulty or a challenge and offering loving kindness. Good. And now, bringing to conscious awareness someone you connect with very deeply, very profoundly, and offering them loving kindness. And finally, bringing to conscious awareness an individual who has positively influenced your life, but you would not else otherwise take a moment to think of, bring to conscious awareness, and offering love and kindness. I love that practice at the end because I think it challenges us to think of more and more people who positively influence our lives. Good. And as we begin to conclude this practice, let us remind ourselves that we may turn towards reality with an allowance, an acceptance, and an appreciation in order to see life as it is. And if we are ready and so inclined, gently returning our attention and awareness to our surroundings, and our environment, and our bodies, and our breath, and thanking ourselves for taking the time to honor ourselves in the present moment. Thank you. Lovely. And now, for some parting wisdom. A renowned Zen teacher said that his greatest teaching was this: Buddha is your own mind. So impressed and profound was this idea that one monk decided to take to the monastery and retreat into the wilderness and meditate on this deep, deep insight. So there he spent 20 years and was just a hermit of this one great teaching. Then, one day, he met another monk who was traveling through the forest, and quickly the hermit monk learned that the traveler had also studied under the great Zen master. So he said, "Please, tell me, what do you know of the Zen master's greatest teaching?" And the traveler's eyes lit up. He said, "Ah, the master has been very clear about this. He says that his greatest teaching is this: Buddha is not your own mind." I think perhaps that is a wise lesson, not just take what you think you know and run away with it. So thank you all for joining me for Dantian Energy Presents. It is an honor and pleasure as always. If you got anything out of it, think about making a one-time donation or becoming a monthly supporter on Patreon. But really, think about liking, commenting, or sharing this video. My goal, our goal, is to connect with as many people as humanly possible. So anything you do helps achieve towards that goal. Isn't that beautiful? So thank you again. Much love, appreciation, and best ventures until next time. Adios.